Welcome back to the bench. Welcome back to Plastic Models by Regular Dude and part number 2 of the Bandai 124 scale North American P-51D Mustang project. So what's been going on? Well, let's take a look at what's been going on. So the first step is the motor, the engine, and here it is in all of its glory. Now there's some seams. wasn't real careful about cleaning stuff up. Basically this is structure to hold the propeller because it's going to be completely enclosed. I'm not even going to paint this, but it does go together fairly well. One thing to note is for a lot of parts on this thing, there are no locating pins. So it's a matter of test fitting, aligning other parts with it, and making sure everything is fitting like it should. As a matter of fact, I gotta glue that right there. But it goes together fine. No issues really. The nice thing is with no locator pins is you can sand the edge really good, you know, the mating edges, and they'll fit together really well. Flat, no ejector pin marks on the mating surfaces, that kind of thing. That's really all there is about the motor. The instructions are pretty good about where things are supposed to go and how they fit together, and everything's pretty solid. So barring any fit issues later on when it's actually installed in the aircraft, we shall see. But anyway, that takes care of steps 1 and 2. Then I moved on to step 3. And step 3, we've got the cockpit. So what I've done is I've done sub-assemblies for painting purposes. So I've got this central part here all done. And again, this is something right here that you're not even going to see. But, you know, it's there. So I got it all together. Then I got the side instrument panels done. They actually look pretty good. The detail's decent. I mean, it's, you know, obviously it's 1972 moldings, but it's not bad. And considering the fact that I'm going to have this buttoned up in a closed canopy situation, it'll be just fine. Not a whole lot of parts. This sidewall here has the sidewall itself and 2 parts. This part over here is a sidewall and 2 parts. So it's not real complicated. So I'm going to get this stuck onto my little painting platform I have, and get this stuff painted. Next thing we have is the pilot figure. Now this is a very crude pilot figure. It's a front and back type of deal. And just like the really old Revell models, and I'm sure other brands did the same thing obviously, but pretty crude. The detail is adequate for my purposes. Again, a closed canopy. I mean, good grief, you'll be lucky if you can even see the dude's head where it's going to be hanging on the ceiling. But it'll be a good exercise in painting. The arms are okay. You'll be able to have a grip on the control stick. And then this other arm will be, his arms look really abnormally long, but I'll have his other arm right there, or maybe I'll have him waving at somebody like the B-17 he's escorting. No, it'll just go down to the side. So that will be that. So I put him in here like this, and what I'll do is I will glue his arm on, and then while the glue is still setting, I'll make sure his hand is positioned properly on the control stick like that. But shouldn't be too tough. But before I do that, I'm going to make sure all the mold seam lines are all cleaned up and smooth, and then get them glued together. All right, so that's what I've got done so far. Steps 1, 2, and 3. So once I get that stuff painted, I can move on to step 4. All right, so I got my little pilot man all done. Not my best work, but in fairness to myself and my limited abilities, this is a very soft figure, and by soft I mean the detail is really soft. But for what I'm doing, it's going to be perfectly fine, because he is going to be hanging from the ceiling in the aircraft, of course, not by the neck. But anyway, so he's done. So I can put him in the seat, put the sidewalls on, put the instrument panel together, and yeah, then I'll be ready to move on. All right, we got the pilot installed, the instrument panel installed, and the motor mounts and motor all glued together. So these two sub-assemblies are ready to go into the fuselage, which is step number 6. Now, since I'm doing gear up, I will not be installing all of these parts here. I'll only be installing the doors when I get to that actual step. So the only thing I need to install, other than those two sub-assemblies, is the radiator and the cooling air exit flap. All right, so that's it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video here. When we come back next time, I should have that together. We can discuss further what's going to happen next. And with that, stay tuned for part number 3, and we will come back and do some more assembly. So, as always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will catch you on the next one.